Hi guys, Miss Francis here to continue our discussion about ecology. Today we're going to focus on community ecology, and remember, a community involves the interactions between biotic species. There are interspecific interactions as well as intra-specific interactions. So interspecific interactions are interactions among different species, whereas intra-specific interactions are interactions within one species. But let's take a closer look at the interspecific interactions, where you can have positive or negative or even a neutral effect. So for example, competition is negative or detrimental to both species, negative. Predation benefits one, it's positive for one, but detrimental or negative to the other. Mutualism is a win-win. It's beneficial to both species. And commensalism is beneficial to one and the other one is not affected. So here again, inter versus intraspecific competition in the same species. Interspecific is competition within different species. So here's some pictures. Predation, you've got the cheetah as the predator and the gazelle as the prey. Bear is the predator, salmon is the prey. Here are some mutualistic relationships, the clownfish and the sea anemone. The sea anemone provides a protective shelter for the clownfish, and the clownfish chase away the butterfly fish that would normally feed on the sea anemone. Hummingbird and the flower. Flower provides food for the hummingbird and also pollinates the flower. The crocodile and the plover. The crocodile's teeth get cleaned and the plover gets to eat. And then you've got the yellow-billed oxpecker and the pecker and the Cape buffalo. The oxpecker removes ticks and eats it, so it gets food, and the buffalo has this parasite removed from it. Commensalism, where one organism benefits and the other is unaffected. The classic example is shark and remora fish. The remora fish take the scraps that come from the shark's mouth. The shark could care less that the remora fish are there. Another example are whales and barnacles. Barnacles use the whale for transportation, and it gives them a spot to stay in order to filter their food, whereas again, the whales could care less that the barnacles are there. So this interspecific competition can occur when resources are short in supply. And a scientist named Gauss actually came up with his competitive exclusion principle that two species with similar needs for the same limiting resources cannot successfully coexist in the same place. In other words, two species cannot successfully occupy the same niche, where the niche is an organism's role in the environment. It's food, it's a job, it's mate, it's territory. So two organisms cannot successfully occupy the same niche. And there are two different types of niches. There are the fundamental niche and the realized niche. The fundamental niche is the area that the organism can, or the niche that the organism can occupy. It's the entire set of conditions under which an animal, a population, or a species can survive and reproduce itself. However, once competition is introduced, then you've got your realized niche, which is a set of conditions actually used by the given animal, the given population, the given species, after interactions with other species have been taken into account. So let me give you an example. The Shamalis barnacles can live in both deep and shallow intertidal zones. That's its fundamental niche. However, after competition from the Balanus barnacles, the Shithalamus barnacles occupy a smaller realized niche. Another interspecific relationship is predation, where you've got a predator eating a prey. And this predator has adaptations to make it as successful as possible. It's got sharp claws, sharp teeth, sharp fangs, poison, speed, agility. So what defenses can the prey have? Well, especially thinking about a plant. A plant doesn't move. So how can it possibly defend itself? Well, plants some plants have chemical compounds that are toxic, which enables them to protect themselves from these predators. Animals have many defenses against predators. They've got behavioral defenses such as fleeing, hiding, self-defense by making loud noises. Animals have camouflage, which can include cryptic coloration or deceptive markings. It's very hard to see these two organisms because they blend into their surroundings. Animals also have chemical defenses, odors, and toxins. Aposematic coloration is another defense. It's indicated by warning colors as seen in the bright coloration of this poison dart frog. Another possible defense is mimicry, when organisms resemble another species. Two different types of mimicry. Batesian mimicry is where a harmless species mimics a harmful one. So the coral snake is harmful. The king snake, which looks like the coral snake, is not harmful. The coral snake has venom. The king snake does not have venom. Malarian mimicry is where both of the species are either unpalatable or harmful, and they resemble one another, such the yellow jacket and the bumblebee seen in this picture. And it ends up being beneficial for both organisms because now predators will not go near either one of them. Just a review of some of the interspecific relationships we talked about. Mutualism, beneficial for both species. The ants in this tree get protection. The ants also eat other pests from the acacia tree. Commensalism, one species benefits, the other isn't affected, like the barnacles attached to a whale. Parasitism, where predators live on or in a host and depend on the host for nutrition, such as a tick on a dog or a tick on a human. Now, let me ask you this. If a tick changes, does that dog also have to change? And the answer is yes. A tick can change and adapt to its surroundings because there is a predator-prey relationship. That dog will also change in response to that tick, and it's known as coevolution. It's when evolutionary adaptations are reciprocal because you've got two interacting species. In other words, when one species evolves, it exerts a selective pressure on the other species to evolve in order to continue the interaction.